Okay, let's talk about some of what I was hearing and noticing in your video, which I could hear, so that's always a good thing. I'm glad it actually played all the way through. But basically, with number one here, as you got faster and faster, you were more consistent with playing this note wrong. It sounded really sour. So what was happening is you kept basically hitting the 10th fret more than it was the 11th fret, and it really clashed with the MIDI guitar. So you're basically kind of doing that, sometimes like almost in the middle, which you can't be in the middle of the 10 and 11, but I'm not really sure how else to describe it. Like it didn't quite hit the 10 or the 11, didn't quite hit the 10, kind of like floating in the middle there somehow. That's what it seemed like. So the stretch wasn't being hit very well at the fast speeds. So we're going to be working on trying to make that better with the new number one, because we're going to hit that 11th fret over and over again. So you really got to pay attention to make sure that you're just hitting that stretch. With number two, as you got faster, accidental economy picking started to happen again. Because as you were going faster, you would do a downstroke here and a downstroke there. So you were consistently doing that at the higher speeds instead of staying with the strict alternate picking. So, I mean, you could argue, like, well, I played the rhythm correct. What's the problem? And you did. The problem would be, I'm just saying it for the sake of saying it, discussion's sake. Because, yeah, somebody could say, well, if I played the rhythm correct, the note sounded right, what's the problem? Because eventually we need to be able to, or we would want to be able to continually just keep this kind of motion locked in, right? And we can't go as fast as possible with our picking if we do the accidental economy picking stuff. So we need to be careful with that. So the new number two will be addressing that. We're trying to, because we're going to keep landing string changes with the upstroke. So every time we play beats 2 and 4, we want to hit an upstroke. So pay very close attention to your right hand when you're doing this guy. Number 3 from last time. I know your hand was fatigued and you were tired there, but at the faster speeds, the triplet part wasn't always clear. So not all the notes were being properly played. So we got to be careful with that. When you're getting fatigued, you still got to make sure you listen very well to make sure that all the notes are there. So that's what we're going to focus on with the new number 3. So I think it's a little bit shorter. Well, obviously, but it's definitely shorter. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are hitting the same amount of triplet hammer-on pull-offs as the previous one, but yeah, just be careful when you're working it up. Make sure all 3 notes are being played. Okay, so let's demonstrate this new number 1. So constant picking the whole time. Really make sure that you're getting a good stretch between the 7 and the 11. So here we go. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. $120. 1, 2, 3, 4. $161. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $200. What? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I played that wrong. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back to 200 for the repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was bad. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, new number 2. Remember, every time you hit beats 2 and 4, upstroke. 60. 1 and a 2. 3 and a 4. $120. 1, 2, 3, 4. $160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And number 3. This is also the same note structure as the last number 3, or last week's number 3. Moving up a bunch of diminished chords, or diminished arpeggios. 1 and a 2, 3 and a 4. $120. 1, 2, 3, 4. $180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is that. All right, any questions come up, let me know, and I will see you again next week.